Hey everyone, just wanted to touch base with you, let you know I'm still alive and still kicking. Coming from you live somewhere in the Midwest. This is the CEO Prepper, and I gotta share this little story here. This came from a friend of mine back home, and I'm just gonna put this out there. Liberals, you got to get over this election, guys. This stuff is really getting old. My friend is one of those that voted for Donald Trump for the presidency. You know why he voted for him? That's his business. But he put a Trump vanity plate on the front of his car. You know, and so that's something a little out of character for my friend. He never really does that kind of stuff. But he figured, you know what? That's the guy he voted for. He supports him. He supports the things he does. Perfect. That's my friend's freedom of speech. And that's his right. But the other day he had a lady that he picked up for his car service, and I guess he does a little ride sharing on the side. But the first thing she says, according to my friend, when she gets into the car is, I'm going to paraphrase this. I might not get it all correct, but she said, first thing, hi, how you doing? I noticed the Trump plate on the front of your car, and I find that rather disturbing. But I have to get back to my hotel, and so I guess I'll just have to deal with it. Okay, what the fuck? Really, people? The election was 11 months ago, and you guys are still butthurt over this shit? Come on. And, my friend's sitting there like, oh God, this is going to be one of those. And I had to ask him, I was like, why didn't you just, leave her there saying, look, if this bothers you so dang much, why don't you just call for another car? And he's like, people have their right to free speech just like I do. I did not think it was just going to go to this level. I was like, me personally, I would have left her ass right there when she said that. But my friend has a lot of patience, so I was like, okay, what happened next? And he's like, the next 20 minutes have a 35-minute trip, or at least 20 to 25 minutes out of a 35-minute trip, was some of the most uncomfortable he's ever had to deal with. And I was like, really? What happened? Now, my friend's a black Republican. He's a black conservative. He does what he likes to call escaped from the plantation. And I guess that's a reference to kind of a mental plantation of the mind that since you're black, you gotta vote Democrat. Me personally, I'm an independent. I don't give a damn what party you're a part of. If you make a campaign promise that sounds good and along the lines of my ideas, fine, I'll vote for you. But you stop doing what you say you're gonna do, then we got problems. Well, anyway, so my friends continue to tell me that this lady hit every Democrat Party line talking point out there, starting with, well, Donald Trump's a racist and blah, 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 blah. And my friend's like, I went to one of his rallies, and I actually did a lot of research on this guy. And besides that one little incident between him, his father, and one of their golf courses, which, that was so long ago, it's not even funny. He's like, people can change in that amount of time. And since then, he's changed a lot. And of course, my friend's sitting there saying, everything that he's seen points to Donald Trump not being a racist. And that pretty much sent this white, liberal, middle-aged woman unhinged and unglued, and she literally lost her shit. I mean, she was getting so heated. My friend was telling me that he had to turn on the AC. So I was like, dude, what did you say? He's like, I basically told her what was on my mind, and what, I had a rebuttal for everything that, she was saying. And I'm like, okay, sounds like a healthy debate. He's like, yeah, but I wasn't expecting that, nor was I trying to get that. I was just trying to make a look, do a run, get paid, and on to the next. I was like, well, one in the middle of the day. He's like, no, you don't get what I'm saying. He's like, this was the first run of the day. I was like, ooh, bad way to set the pace, brother. But yeah, so he had all that going on, and he gets a butthurt liberal who is trying her hardest to convince him that he's wrong and trying to shame him. And the fact that she threw a race card in there flabbergasted not just my friend but me when he told me, look folks, get the fuck over it. You lost. Your candidate was garbage. Hell, I voted against her. Just because, I'll put it like this, the Democrats have held to the belief that blacks will vote for them for so long that they've taken blacks for granted. Point blank, period, hands down. So, I'm with my friend when he said, our people need to escape this mental plantation that they have to vote Democrat, because they really don't. And if you really look at it, if the Democrats really cared so much about us, why are we still poor? Why is the majority of our neighborhoods still poor? Now, I'm not saying that the Republicans are saints. Absolutely not. They've had some assholes in their party. But comparatively, I'd rather have the person that's an asshole to my face. That way I at least know what they have on their mind, versus the person that smiles in my face and kills me with disease in a blanket. But to shame someone for their freedom, for using their freedom of the vote the way they want, shaming them for their beliefs, shaming them for their political ideology. You Democrats, you liberals are really starting to sound fascist, and you're pissing us off. So, liberals, if you're still butthurt about November 2016, get the fuck over it. It was last year. The bullshit's old. Trump won. Clinton lost. And for good riddance, too. That woman's cheated so damn much. Yes, we're talking about the Bernie Sanders fix. And when my friend brought stuff like that up, and the WikiLeaks and the emails and all that stuff, you know, that lady didn't want to talk about that. But when it came to, you know, this latest news that Trump's kids are using their private email servers, and I was like, okay, I can, you know, she used that, and he's like, yeah, but here's my rebuttal. Yeah, they're using their private email service. He's like, I don't know, the particulars, but you know, it's different for them to use their servers versus Clinton. And she's like, oh my God, no, it's not. And he's like, oh, how's it not different? And she's like, because they're not supposed to be using their private email servers. He's like, actually, they can, because the difference between her using her private email servers and them, they weren't Secretary of State, you know, transmitting classified documents to an unsecure server. And again, she lost her shit. So, you know, liberals need to take the blinders off. She said that, you know, my friend had blinders on. No, he was very aware. She had the blinders on. Liberals, you need to take the blinders off. See your people for what they are, not for the propaganda that you think's out there. Because if you were telling the truth so much, Hillary would be president and not Trump. That's point blank, period. This is CEO Prepper. Prepare yourself. It's never a question of if, it's a question of when. And I'm out.